EUDOXIUS of Constantinople, and the PRO-ARIAN bishops of Illyricum. Contribution to the Christian prosopography of the DIOECESIS, THRACIARUM, written by Alenka Cedilnik, University of Ljubljana, in collaboration with Dominique Moreau, University of Lille. This paper will focus on Bishop EUDOXIUS and his contacts with pro-Arian prelates from Illyricum, first of all Valens of Mursa and Rosatius of Singidunum. On this basis, we will seek to demonstrate the nature and purpose of their cooperation in the context of the Arian controversy, as well as the efforts of Constantinople to extend their influence in the political ecclesiastical sphere. EUDOXIUS began his ecclesiastical career as Bishop of Germanicia, but he then became Bishop of Antioch in 357, and finally of Constantinople in 360. In the sources, he is first appearing at the Synod of Antioch in 341. Athanasius reports that he received his bishop's position precisely because of his Arian orientation and the support he received from the Eusebians. Moreover, he is also ranked among the Eusebians by Athanasius, aside Valens and Rosatius. In order to shed light in the background of their cooperation, a particular attention will be paid to the following events: EUDOXIUS' participation in 341 and 343 at the Synods of Antioch and Serdica, his role in 344 as a member of the delegation sent by the Synod of Antioch to the Western bishops, his participation in 351 at the Synod of Sirmium, his consecration in 357 as Bishop of Antioch, together with the aims of the Synod he organized in the following year, his role in 359 at the Synod of Seleucia, and his consecration in 360 as Bishop of Constantinople. Relying on the information we have about the events connected with the Synods of Rome and Antioch in 340 and 341, it seems that already at that time, when in 341 EUDOXIUS as Bishop of Germanicia first appears in the sources, the three bishops, EUDOXIUS, Valens, and Rosatius, were all actively involved in political ecclesiastical plans whose prime mover was Eusebius of Nicomedia. At the Council of Serdica, Valens and Rosatius, as though they came from the western part of the empire, belonged to the so-called Eastern Bishops' group, and were thus participants in the same event in which EUDOXIUS most probably also took part. It can be, however, assumed that at that time the role played by Valens and Rosatius was more noticeable to contemporaries than EUDOXIUS' role. In the years after the council, Valens and Rosatius, since they were bishops in the western part of the empire, no longer appeared among the most active leaders of the prevailing theological interpretations in the East. On the contrary, it is at that precise moment that EUDOXIUS comes on stage for the first time as a prominent representative of these views. In 344, he was a member of the delegation sent by the Synod of Antioch to the Western bishops in Milan. Because of the personal interest that bound Valens and Rosatius to the embassy sent to Milan, we might imagine that the contact between both Illyrician bishops and the members of the delegation was strengthened during this time. The above assumption could be confirmed by EUDOXIUS' participation in 351 at the Synod of Sirmium, and especially by the fact that as Bishop of Antioch he convened a new synod in 358, which adopted the decisions of the Synod of Sirmium of 357. and was, in 359, as were Valens and Rosatius at the Synod of Rimini, one of the most prominent bishops among the Homoians at the Synod of Seleucia. As an influential representative of Homoians, EUDOXIUS was appointed Bishop of Constantinople in 360. He was Bishop of Constantinople from 360 to 370. During this period, sources report only one event in which the bishops in question cooperated with each other. When Eunomius was accused of supporting usurper Procopius in the past and was sentenced to exile in Mauritania, Valens of Mursa exerted his influence for Eunomius at the imperial court. Of course, we can't be sure about that, but still, maybe the bishops interceding with the Emperor Valens was successful, for he was, or at least had been in the past, on good terms with EUDOXIUS. In the background of the activities of the bishops in question, we do not only see the fact that the bishops cooperated unambiguously, but it might also be possible to see the existence of a plan which united not only the three prelates, but the whole group of Eusebians, who even after the death of Eusebius of Nicomedia followed the guidelines given by the latter. To answer this question, we will focus primarily on the following issues: the active role played by all three bishops in development of theological doctrines and their dissemination, Valens' attempt to become Bishop of Aquileia, EUDOXIUS' appointment as Bishop of Antioch and Constantinople, and the context that all three bishops, not only EUDOXIUS, might have had with the Eunomians. Definitive answers to these questions are of course not possible, but they open possibilities that are worth paying attention to.